Hello everyone. This is the fifth video in the series WD Gann Trading Techniques, Law of Vibration, Music, Octaves. So in the last session, we have seen about anagram as such. Specifically, there is a circle, then there is a triangle, and there are other coordinates which are together, right? Now in front of us, we are able to see two photographs. One is on the left hand side and one is on the right hand side. This was probably been put across just to create a kind of confusion, right? This is not exactly the anagram that we are going to use, but this is the anagram which we saw in the video also, especially if you go back to the book that we have provided from our side. Yes, so you'll come to know that, okay, this is the exact anagram. Yes, this is something again related by, because if you just see in terms of numbers, yes, you see a circle, you see a circle over here. You have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, 1 to 9, that is there, to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these numbers are also coming in a cycle, right, which is there. And we again have a triangle which is 3, 6, 9. So definitely everything is same, right? Only thing is the interpretations are different in both the parts together, right? So in first part the interpretation is different, in the second part the interpretation is different. Let's say, for example, if I tell you how is the interpretation over here, this is in terms of numerology. So let's say we start with 1, we go for doubling, goes to 2. So 2 is again 2. We go for doubling. From 2, it goes to 4. 4, it goes to 8. 8, we again double, it goes to 16. 16 is a two-digit number. So what we do is we do 1 plus 6, which comes to 7. So we add 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. We have 32, which is 3 plus 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So 8, from 8 it goes to 7. From 7 it goes to 5. So we had 32, 32. Again, if we go further, right? So it is 3 plus 2, 1, right? So this is how it goes across. Sorry, 32 plus 32, 64. 644 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1, right? So this how the circle is being completed, and this is pertaining to numerology as such, right? So that's why we are keeping it different. Yes, right? So probably we'll try to take it separately when we are talking something about numerology as such. Let's try to keep that in a different way altogether. Let's try to focus on this video, this picture, which is critical and important for us. So probably if you want to focus, I'll just zoom it across so that it becomes easier for us to understand. I guess fair enough. That may be the size. Good for us, right? Now, what do you want to do with this? Right, again we have seen in the basic formula how the numbers 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, 1 comes down, right? So if it is like 1 divided by 7, right? So if I have, right, so this is, if I start from 1 divided by 7 altogether, I hope you remember it now, right? So when you go across with that formula, you get those numbers which are there, which is starting from 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, right? So probably let me go to the calculator so that it becomes again calculator. So that is the calculator in front of us. Just to make things easier for you, just to have a recap of what we saw in the previous one. So it's like 1 divided by 7. So it is 1 divided by 7. You have this magic figure which has been coming down to, which is, yep. So it is 1, 4, 2. It is 1, then 4, then 2. From 2 it goes to 8. From 8 goes to 5 down. This is 5, and then 7, and then from 7 it goes to again 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. Right. So this is how it is. Probably much more easier again. Right. So that's why the number comes to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. 7 is again related to the music part. 7 is when important number has been told by WD Gann in his book the law of vibration. So probably you can understand how important this is, and when you divide that, probably you get the numbers in that specific order. So that's why we have 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, 1, right? Now this is okay, fine, we understand the numbers, but what in terms of practical knowledge, how do you should be able to use it in terms of trading? This is the question which is there in front of you. So let's try to look it from trading point of view. So let's say I start from 1, I go to 4. What's next? So as per the theory that we have, the price goes from 1, it goes to 4, and from 4, it must be probably coming back to 2, right? So from 2, what happens is, for example, let's say when it goes from 1 to 4, so probably it has been going further on the clockwise cycle. So if this is a clockwise cycle as per numbers, so from 1, it will go to 2, but it will not stop at 2, it will go up to 4, right? So what happens from 1 to 4 is, probably from 4, it will be coming back to 2, right? Now, 2 is something which is between 1 and 4, right? 2 is something that is between 1 and 4. That's it. We currently just consider that, right? And from 2, again, it goes up to 8. So 2 is like, okay, it would be going further, crossing up to 4 and then going up to 8, right? So this is the first cycle that we see is 1, 1 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 4, right? From 2, it is like exactly going up to 4. So let's try to unveil this and try to see how we are able to modify that. Now, let's say, for example, I have this bull bear cycle altogether in front of us, and probably we just try to randomly see one of the cycles. So if you are finding somewhere around first cycle, I know about a cycle which is maybe probably starting from here. Why here is because we had a low which was probably around that points. I take different colors for that. Let's say, for example, we are starting from here. So if you're starting something, probably you should go for green. And if you're ending something, which is probably at this candle, so we'll take this as a red. So this is my zone where I need to trade across and try to identify what are the things which have been happening, right? So I need to go around from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 numbers. So 8 numbers, probably I need to look for polyline. If I'm able to cross polylines. So this polylines is there, but this is a continuous one, because if he's going up further, and probably it will be coming back to this number. So let me try to find out something apart from that. If I'm not getting anything else, which would be probably connecting in terms of lines, because this is just double curves, this would be straight line. So let me look across for, maybe I'll go with Elliott wave, which is 1 to 5. So at least I have 5 numbers, right? So let's say we start somewhere around from, cool. Let's try to go it in this way. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I go from this number. So this is my 1. From 1, I go across to 2, right? So from where I need to go to 2. So 1 is there. After 1, it goes to 4. Beg your pardon, just in terms of the confusion for number. So I go from 1 to 4, I go from 1 to 4, right? So what will be happening from 4 is I need to come back probably to 2, which is between 1 and 4. So I need to see if something is coming back down. Yes, I see this number, which is probably between this number and this number. So if it is 1, this is 4, this is again coming back to 2, right? So cool, we got this thing. And what happens after 4? After 2? After 2, it goes back to 4. So 4 is like, it would be crossing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 8, right? So let's try to see. I have 2. From 2, it is 3, probably 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, right? Cool then. So I got one more point which is there. So I have now, starting from 1, I go to 4, 4 from 4 to I go to 2, from 2, I go to 8, right? So I went up to 8. So what happened after 8 is I need to come back, which is 5, and 5 is just nearer to 4, right? So probably here again I need to reverse. So let's say if it is my 8, I need to reverse somewhere around, and this would be coming to number 5. So this is 5, and from 5 it would be going to 7. So let's say if I'm getting something like 7. So if this is the 8, this would be somewhere around 7. Right. So I'm just taking an odd figure. Probably this is going up and then coming back, or probably this is 7, or maybe this is 7. I'm just taking it randomly, right? Because from here we'll go going to the ultimate number. So my 1 number would be coming back again at this one, right? So what I find out is I found out probably a cycle which is in terms of 1 going from 1 to 4. So from 1 going to 4, and 4 again reversing back to 2. So this is 1, 1 to 4, 4 to reversing back to 2. So 2 is my common point. This one is probably to be assumed as 4, right? From here again I go to the top, which is 8, right? So from 2 it is directly going on over here, but actually it goes into the cyclic way and then coming to the top, which is above 4. So if this is my 4, this is above that. So let me do one thing, probably just write down some numbers. So if those numbers are there in front of me, things should be easier. So this is my 4 at this stage, let's say, assume. Let me make it black, easier to understand. So this is 4, and then this is my 2, right? And this is my 8. Again, I go to this number, which is 8. I'm just going by the numbers which are over here. So this is 1, then 4. From 4, it goes to 2. 2, it goes to 8. I'm just writing this number so that it becomes easier for us to understand. From 8, again, it comes back to 5. So I had my 5 over here. I need to again go back. Right, so this is 5, right? So from 5, again, it goes ahead. So probably it is between, from 5, it goes to 7. So 7 is between, or maybe just below 8. So it's not necessary that it should be pushing back and then coming back. But ultimately what happens is after 7, it is going beyond 8, which is coming to 1. So probably if I take this and take this as 1, right? So this is completion of my entire cycle as such, especially what we saw over here, right? So this is just, I mean, like you can consider after 5, we had 7. So probably if I need to consider 7, I can consider 7 at maybe this point. So this is my 7. We are just, because we are only 5 legs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in terms of Elliott wave as such, especially. So I'd consider that, right? I'm not considering anything else as such apart from that. So that's why I mean, like if I go beyond that, probably this would be the number. But randomly, if I see 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, and then from 7 it goes to 1, right? So this is how it is, talking in terms of numbers. So probably this was on a monthly scale. Let's try to do something on daily, possible, and try to understand and interpret how things have been happening. So I can take different ones. So probably I started over here from an entire low part, which was there on a bull bear cycle. I need to start something probably over there, something which started somewhere around between. Let's say, for example, I start from June 2022. If I need to go to June 2022, what is June 2022? So this is June 2022. Let's try to see if I'm able to get some types of cycles which are there. Right. So probably if I have something over here in terms of this part, am I able to get something? Let's say, for example, I have this entire swing which is there, or probably this entire swing, right? So if I just try to consider that, or even if I hide this smaller one, which is there, I can take it in different parts as per my understanding, as per what I get. So where is my Elliott wave? Yep, this is my Elliott wave. So I start from this as number 1. I go to a high point which is there over here. I again from here come back to this number and probably go back to this number. So this is probably getting in terms of 4 points, which is starting from 1 going to 4 to 8. So I've got these 4 points which are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So coming back, probably it should be somewhere around this point, right? So this would be coming back to 5. So this is my 5, and again 8 would be somewhere around 5. So from 5 it would be going to 7. So 7 is somewhere around between here, something like that. And probably because I understand that okay, the cycle on topward side is not maybe completed, so there may be a bit of confusion in this. Probably we need to see ahead how this has been happening, right? So this is in one of the ways that we'll be able to see across. Let's try to see across probably for this smaller cycle which is there. If you are able to match across in this smaller cycle. So yes, I have this Elliott wave. So now we are not trying to practice some more around on Elliott wave as such, but trying to just randomly see in terms of the cycle that we saw on the Enneagram. So 1, I started from here, I went up to here. So this is my next number, third number, fourth number, fifth number, and then probably I have somewhere around here, or maybe going ahead of that, or maybe randomly, because I'm getting only 5 numbers. So if I consider that in terms of the numbers which are there, so this is 1, so this is my number 4. So I write here number 4. So this is my number 4 over here. So from 1, I go to number 4, right? So from 4, I get come in again, come back to number 2, right? So this is going to be number 2. So this is number 2 for me. So from 1, again, I went up to 4, 4 again came back to 2, right? So this was 1, 4, and coming back to 2, and from 2 again going up to 8. So from here, it went ahead of this point, and I can consider or say this is to be point 8. Right? I'm just trying to make it easier so that it becomes easier for you to interpret. So from 8, again, I guess 8, it came back to 5. So again, this is number 5, but let me draw it in a clear way. So this is number 5. Right, so we have this number which is 5, and from 5 probably coming back to 7. So this is 7, this is 7, and from 7 again it went to number 1. So we have this 7 different interpretations which are there. So this can be 7, this can be 7, and after that it was like 1. So this 1 can be considered on the top, let's say. So if we try to clarify, yes, probably we are getting something in terms of cycles over here. And Enneagram again probably tries to say to us in terms of cycles. So probably the market movements which are there, they are happening in terms of the cycles. So it's not that the market just keeps on moving around in one direction. It keeps on coming back every now and then, and this is how the market keeps on moving. So if that is the movement, probably we need to understand that, okay, that it is not a straight movement as such, or probably it is a cyclic movement, but it happens in a specific pattern: 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, 1. So it may be 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, 1. So probably these are the patterns which have been followed. It goes ahead, comes back, goes ahead, comes back, goes ahead, probably comes back and then goes. So probably there's a riddle which is there of 7. 7 should be here, or 7 should be over here, and then coming back to the 7th part next after that. So probably this is what we interpret overall. We saw for different time frames. Let's try to see something maybe for intraday also, if possible. If you're able to get something in terms of clarity. So let's say I go on for a smaller time frame, which is 5. So if I go for a smaller time frame, what I get is probably a high, from high to a low, again second high, low probably, or maybe this high, this low. So if I consider this as my Elliott, my first point over here, then goes to the second point, then probably over here, and then next point maybe something like that, and I should be getting one more point downside. So randomly talking, yes, this is probably how it should be seen or how it should be interpreted, but because this is an half cycle, we won't be able to understand that in a better way until unless the cycles are being completed. We just took it randomly around, but yes, we see the patterns which have been happening, that the market, yes, definitely moves in a specific way, in a specific direction before it goes or maybe unfolds itself further, right? So this is what we understand probably, and this is how we should be taking it across. Probably there are bigger things which would be there into the market that we need to understand, but yes, on a smaller time frame, this is what it looks like. So we need to look across through different patterns, different cycles, try to understand what is 1, what is 2, what is 4, 5, 8, 7, 1 overall, the cycle overall. So understanding this part is very critical. We need to see what has been hidden over here, how these cycles are being made, what is the circle, what is the triangle, what is the anagram which is being based inside that. So probably there are more certain things which are there. We need to read the books which are there. Gurdjieff book is there, Gurdjieff's book is there. Apart from that, yes, I've given you 2 more further books. We need to see more of what is there from Pythagoras, because he's a very important and critical person to understand and see these things, right? So let's keep on learning more from these parts and try to understand things so that it becomes very easier and understand for us, and hopefully try to meet across in the next video which is there. See you. Thank you, Steve, that time. See you. Bye. Take care.